So we've been doing a foraging every day post on our Facebook page and our video. And today, this one's not a wild thing, but this is an apple. And you want to tell them how we found this apple tree?
Right, because we were driving by on that highway right there, and we saw the fruit, and so we stopped and we put a note at the property owner just today, and we're like, hey, you mind if we stop by? So we got a text about 30 minutes later, and he said, yeah, sure, come on by. This tree has already been picked twice, but it still has a ton. It's just kind of loaded with apples still. And on a tree this size, I was looking it up, it can yield anywhere from like 400 to 800 pounds of apples in a fruiting. So even at an average of 600 pounds off of this tree, that's 15 bushels. And I figured up you could make 400 apple pies or 180 quarts of applesauce, which is 45 gallons of applesauce. Or since 36 apples equals 1 gallon of apple juice, you can have about 67 gallons of apple juice. And so, I mean, those are, I mean, off of one tree. And so, you know, they fall to the ground, and, you know, we can leave some for the wildlife, of course, but, you know, it's a great way to forage and see the bounty and abundance that's in nature.
Yeah, and so if you want to do this, you can stop and talk to people. That some ways that we did it when we lived in the city, we'd walk the same areas a lot of times, and we would see that people had ornamental trees planted, but they weren't making use of the fruit. It was just falling to the ground. So we'd reach out to them, and we were doing them a service. We'd pick up the stuff off the ground and feed it to our chickens or compost it, and then we'd get the stuff off the tree and we could use it for food. There's a website called fallingfruit.org, and you can check that out to see if anybody else has found trees or shrubs in your area that are fruit producing. You can find things like that. So another time we were somewhere and we saw a tree in a yard that was listed for sale, and all the fruit was falling on the ground. So we contacted the realtor and were able to collect tons and tons of fruit, which was a benefit to the person selling the property because they didn't want that all rotting on the ground. They were gonna have to pay somebody to come and clean it up. And we got, I don't know, quarts and quarts and quarts of applesauce made from that tree. So anyway, it's out there. You guys can find food to forage like this too, and it can be a benefit to you and to the landowners. So.
And he said they were pretty sweet, so I'm going to try a bite. All right. It's really good.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
Happy foraging.